Testing, testing. Oh, can we have a joke for a moment? May I present the fabulous Cheryl Brulin?
Well, you know I'm a Finlander. You know about Oli and Lena. Well, Lena came racing into the door. She said, Oli, our car is shot. Oli said, what do you mean the car's shot? It's broken. There's water in the carburetor. Oli said, well, you don't even know what a carburetor is. How do you know there's water in the carburetor? She said, oh yeah, there's water in the carburetor. And Oli said, let's go look and see. Where is it? In the lake. Our own comedian here at Mission Lakes.
We miss you. Next time.
Got 2 minutes.
Hey, Patty. Do you know what part of a woman's body is her yet?
No.
No? No. Oh. Well, I was reading this thing in the newspaper, and it says a woman was shot with an arrow, and it's in her yet.
I thought she was going to say something. This is a boy station. Yeah, this is supposed to be now.
They're all.
Phones on quiet. Phones on quiet. Phones on quiet, everybody.
No photographs. It was an airplane home. My way.
Yet. It's in her yet.
Still.
Teresa, I'll get it.
Yeah, why don't you?
I've got maybe yellow. Oh, nice call. Thank you.
Please hold you need to breathe before it goes on.
It's so nice to see so many young people here today.
You don't have a joke or anything?
No, I didn't. I have some jokes, but they're inappropriate.
Oh.
That crowd's too old for them. Yeah, right.
Anybody got a joke? Oh, we wait just a few minutes for our crowd to assemble.
Give them a chance to get that seats.
No. John, any Catholic priest jokes?
How about a limerick? No, I never remember.
I got a Catholic nun joke.
There we go. No?
Dim the lights. Dim the lights.
I don't know how to do that.
Aha, another joke.
Oh, we got another joke. The Finlanders have been conferring.
Am I on? Yeah. Ole and Sven, they were working, they were construction workers. And they looked down, they were just shoveling and shoveling and shoveling. So Ole said to Sven, look, that foreman down there. He's sitting under that tree. Why is he sitting under that tree? And we're shoveling, shoveling, shoveling. So Sven said, well, let's go and ask him. So they went down there, one of them, and said to the foreman, why is that you sitting under that tree and we're doing all the work? And the foreman looked at him, and he put his hand on the tree, and he said, hit my hand as hard as you can. So only he wound up and he smashed, and he dropped his hand, hit the tree. Well, he went up to Sven and he said, I know why that guy's sitting down there and we doing all the work. Hit my hand as hard as you can.
Yeah. This way. Oh, are you what's in there?
Would you like to come in and join us?
It's free.
Jerry, are you going to say anything?
No. I've got a joke.
Jerry, would you have anything you'd like to say? Okay, we have a joke. No?
You guys do it. Are they starting?
What's the joke? Okay.
Oh, am I on?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I just hope they got that drum thing when you get done.
Can I just about a farmer with a burden coming up to the farm?
No, we can't tell that one. Oh, farmer's daughter joke. This is a true story, mostly. So Francine and I went to the Smithams in Montana to play golf. And they live in grizzly country. And so they have grizzlies and black bears. So we're out playing golf. And Francine and I are walking along. She goes, look at that. It's bear tracks. I know that's bear tracks. And Jackie says, yeah, those are bear tracks. And look at, there's bear scat. And Jackie says, yeah, it's a black bear. And she goes, you can tell it's a black bear from here by looking at the scat. And she says, yeah, it's easy. And she goes, well, how can you tell the difference between a black bear and a grizzly from the scat? And she says, well, that's obviously a black bear. There's a little fur in there. There's some berries. There's some leaves. Well, how about if it was a grizzly? Well, here on the golf course, usually there's a little piece of a golf shoe and some sunglasses.
Testing.
Okay, thanks you guys for coming out tonight. Hope you'll enjoy these wonderful plays that Jerry wrote for us. So, anyway, our first play is called Choices by Jerry Burning, and the place is the big city. The time is now. The characters are Tricia, single, 30-ish, Patty Brucker. Marcia, also single, 30-ish, is her co-worker, Jane Anderson. Dylan, single, 30-ish, co-worker, Bill Rhodes. Ken, also single, 30-ish, Jim Saxton. Katz, internet dating prospect, Bill Brucker. Bartender, cynical old-timer, played by Art Ritchie. Woman roommate, Therese Follette, and the narrator, myself, Lori Saxton. The plot. Being single is serious business. Scene 1. Office. Tricia is currently single and seeks companionship. Dylan is her coworker. Marcia is also her coworker.
I'll see you tomorrow. Come on, Marcia. You owe me a glass of wine.
Coming, Mother.
They both head for the door.
Hey, I have nothing to do. Can I join you?
Nothing to do. Ergo, we are better company than nothing.
The girls leave.
I guess I better work on my social skills.
Scene 2. The girls enter a nearby stylish gin joint. They survey the crowd.
Why don't we sit at the bar so that we can't be trapped at the table?
Sure, and besides, the barkeep likes to talk about sports.
They pick a pair of adjoining stools.
A glass of Chardonnay, please.
And a bottle of Shock Top, no glass, my treat.
Tricia salutes Marcia and sips her wine. Marcia drinks from the bottle.
So, here we are.
I don't want a significant other, but I suspect you do.
Maybe. But it's so easy when you're a kid. High school, college. But now?
But now it's a bitch. The guys are disintegrating before our very eyes. Or they're married with rings on their fingers, or maybe bar hustlers, or...
Ken strolls up. Tall. The right age, not unhandsome, stands between the stools so that he has a choice.
Well, hello, ladies.
Hi.
How about them cubs?
Ken sits on the stool beside Tricia.
So she's the sportsman and you're the sport.
And who are you?
A bit of both. I played a little college ball. Bartender, a lobster martini, please. And...
Wait a minute. A lobster martini? Isn't that exotic?
I'll let you try it.
Sounds very unsanitary.
You get first lip.
The drink arrives with a lobster claw hanging over the edge of the glass. The vodka is sullied like a dirty martini.
My. Very impressive.
Let me remove the claw and you can try a taste.
Ooh, yes. A lobster that drinks vodka.
Now you must try a taste of the lobster claw meat.
Ken cracks the shell and uses a little fork to pass her the lobster bite.
I could live on this.
Marcia turns towards them.
Try this, Marcia. Try this, Marcia.
What's going on that's so exciting at this end of the bar?
Tricia pushes the martini towards Marcia. Ken reaches to pull it back, then chuckles and waves at the bartender.
Oh, that tastes like heaven.
Bartender, another lobster martini.
Marcia looks at her watch.
Oh, I gotta get going. Are you coming with?
Oh, I just ordered another lobster martini.
One must never leave a lobster undrunk.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Marcia waves and departs. Ken shifts his stool closer to Tricia.
This is nice, isn't it?
You started to tell me about your ball playing days. What kind of ball? What school?
Just drink the martini.
Let's see. Going from the smallest on up, there's a golf ball, a tennis ball, a baseball, a softball, a dodgeball, a soccer ball, a volleyball, a football, a basketball, and guess that's about it. So, did you play some or all or?
First drink.
No.
What do you mean, no?
It's the opposite of yes.
After all I've done for you?
Forgive me. Thank you for introducing me to the lobster martini.
She spins away from him on her stool and rises.
But I bought you a drink.
Tricia heads for the door.
And so they go.
But I bought her a drink.
Another bad investment.
The bartender taps his check, and Ken pulls out his wallet.
Oh, well, the night is young.
You better hurry. I can see you aging.
The lights dim. Scene 3. Tricia peers at her computer screen. Marcia looks over her shoulder.
Evidently, last night's suave man about town did not turn out to be a winner.
You think just because I'm looking at a screen full of pleading men, that the evening failed to be amusing?
Yes.
You are so right. I can't let luck and fortuitous circumstance ruin my life. I shall bring science into play.
Awesome. So you're going to use a dating website.
Not an ordinary site for ordinary people, but a very special list of men of the highest order of education and style and intellect and
Baloney. More sophisticated liars.
perhaps so. And of course women of equally high caliber.
Naturally. But do not opposites attract or some such thing?
Well, look at this guy.
His nose is okay, but he's wearing a hat to hide something.
Or nothing. He could be bald.
Or a man with green hair.
In another month or so, hair color will mean no concern.
Oh, we'll find you a winner. There are 10 to a screen, so let's get busy. You seem to be dilly-dallying, so I'm going to give you a little push. Now, let's see. We've got Stanford with the goatee, Harvard with the mustache, and Illinois with a big smile.
How can you begin to even make an initial determination without feeling the emanations dissipating from a warm body close at hand?
Put your hand on the screen and touch the feeling.
Marcia grabs Tricia's hand and places it gently on the computer screen.
What's under my thumb?
Let's see. Bearded, graduate degree from the University of Geneva. Ooh, Purdue University. Hot. He has most of his teeth. That works.
Like, has a job?
Yes.
Let's look deeper. Aha. With one touch of a key, the man's entire life is exposed.
So was he a bedwetter?
Not quite that deep. However, I see that Mr. Katz has been married before.
Successfully?
I suspect not, since he is on the prowl again. Black hair, blue eyes, 198 pounds, and is taller than I am.
Even in high heels?
Probably it's a tie. The work is
Cannabis salesman, he's a pot pusher.
so close. Research scientist.
Is that an interesting subject to you?
Why?
Well, because he's going to want to talk about his job.
And he'll expect me to be enthusiastic.
At least bemused, but not bored.
Won't he be fascinated by my efforts at understanding the speed of ice melt in the Arctic?
My, oh my, men are fascinated by themselves.
I'll save him for future analysis.
You'll do no such thing. Ring him up. We have no time to spare.
We.
Come on.
Tricia types a brief email and sends it.
There. Now we'll see what happens.
The lights dim. Scene 4. Tricia stands on the steps of the newest museum in the city at the Cow Palace. Katz walks up steps towards her.
You must be Tricia.
Mr. Katz?
Just call me Chip. This is very exciting. A museum just opened this week. Come on.
Chip grabs her hand and they semi-skip into the building.
Greenhouse gas, methane, nitrous oxide.
The primary greenhouse gases. You know where they come from?
Oh, Bart Simpson told me. Methane is emitted by cows. Farting cows. Farting cows.
Not only.
Burping is even worse.
Well, yes, it seems to be the beans.
Soybeans.
And corn.
Sticks in their teeth.
The manure from the cows account for 16% of the total emissions.
The gift that keeps on giving.
And so, what do you do?
I measure the ice melt.
Gin and tonic?
No.
I'm sorry, it's just that...
I know. Shall we start over?
Hello, are you Tricia?
No.
Tricia turns on her heel and exits. Chip stares after her.
Women.
Lights dim. Scene 5. Back at the office.
It did not go well at all. Manure analysts always have dirty fingernails.
No wonder he failed to specify.
May I help?
Go away.
Sorry, I'll be off then.
To where, Dylan?
Well, perhaps stop at the joint and have a drop and,
Let's see. Let's see you, Marcia.
would you like to join us, Marcia?
No, she's too busy.
Tricia grabs Dylan's arm and drags him out the door. Scene 6. The joint. Tricia and Dylan sit on stools.
So, friends, what will it be? Well, Trish, I'm a beer drinker. Simple, straightforward. So, you'd like a bud?
Not so fast. Barkeep, methinks there's more to him than that.
Thank you. I believe you have a barleycorn India Pale Ale.
That sounds delish. Me too.
2 barleycorns coming up. You sure, ma'am?
We'll find out. If I barf in the bar, you'll know.
The bartender tosses a bar rag to her.
Here, just in case.
Bartender delivers 2 bottles and 2 glasses.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Do you use a glass?
Dylan, do we use a glass?
Well, to each his own. I usually drink from a glass, particularly martinis.
But I've noticed a lot of guys drink from the bottle. Gives them a sense of machismo.
Well, in that case, 2 glasses it is.
Bartender pours.
Cheers.
Nostrovia.
They clink glasses.
Do you speak Russian?
Well, Ukrainian too, but yet.
Have you ever been to Russia?
Well, almost. I fell asleep on a train in Poland when I was visited by my grandmother.
What happened?
Well, the Russian border guard picks me up, looks me over, and decided I was not a big enough fish. They tossed me back on the train heading west.
Catch and release?
That's it.
Dylan empties his glass.
What now?
Well, I live right up there.
I love that building.
Well, drink up and I shall give you the grand tour.
Dylan drops his bills on the bar and they exit. Scene 7. Tricia and Dylan exit the elevator, which opens into the apartment entryway.
Wow. You own the whole floor? Gee, I knew I liked you. I just didn't know how much.
Well, the tour begins in 30 seconds.
He kisses her cheek, then throws open the door. The apartment is whites and pale grays and plush and rich looking.
Spectacular, Dylan. You do have a flair.
Yes, I rather do.
How can you possibly afford this?
Well, it's all in making wise investments and knowing the right people. Champagne?
Without waiting for a reply, he obtains a bottle of Dom Perignon and pops it open as she stares out the window. He pours 2 stems.
How perfect. A view of the city, a glass of champagne. Now,
Who could ask for more?
Dylan pushes Tricia gently onto the couch and begins to stroke her hair as he mumbles sweet nothings. A woman enters.
Well, hello there. I see Dylan has a new playmate.
Tricia leaps to her feet with Dylan close behind her.
You said that is, I thought, well, anyway, this is Tricia from the office.
Well, hello, Tricia from the office. Were the two of you developing a plan to, end climate change?
Well, Tricia just wanted to see the view from up on high.
No. Do you have a basement apartment there?
you have such a swell view, but I have to go. The children are starving by now. Thank you, Dylan. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Tricia races out the door and into the elevator. Scene 8. Tricia and Marcia are sitting at the bar on adjacent stools.
So, tell me about your date and the homegrown talent, Mr. Dylan.
I need a martini.
Bartender, listening in, says,
2?
No, she had the date, not me. Give me a Coke. I need a clear head for this confession.
the drinks arrive.
Here you are, ladies.
Cheers.
Nostrovia.
Really?
Dylan had a story about falling asleep in a train in Europe.
Well, then, Nostrovia.
Our boy lives in that glass tower across the street.
Must be more to him than I surmised.
So we go up to his place.
And,
He plies me with champagne.
yes, and then
We find ourselves lying on a sumptuous couch.
the temperature's rising.
Oh, yes. And then the harsh voice of reality destroys the mood.
Oh, no.
His roommate.
So?
His mother. The roommate.
Really?
Really. At his age, he's still living with Mommy Dearest.
2 martinis, doubles. The end.
Marcia.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. It works. This play is called Thursdays Are for Getting Even. It is written by Jerry Burning. The characters are Willie, played by Dan Follett; Shirley, his wife, played by Therese Follett. What a coincidence, right? Diane is played by Diane Beard. Another coincidence, right? Okay, so Caroline is played by Patty Brucker. Beverly is played by Lori Saxton. Johnny is being played by Art Ritchie. Joey is Jim Saxton. Sammy is Bill Brucker. The cashier is Jane Anderson. And the narrator is Jane Anderson. The plot. The husbands decide to prove their literary equality with their book club wives. Scene 1, Thursday evening. Willie sits on the couch reading a newspaper while watching a basketball game on TV. A beer can and a sack of chips rest on the table.
Ever since Shirley joined that snotty book club, I got nothing to do on a Thursday. Get going, Boilermakers! You ain't losing to them no-good accusers. Ah, whoops. Guess you did.
Jumps to his feet.
I've got to walk all the way across the room to change channels, since Shirley's dog ate the remote control.
He walks to the kitchen and returns with another beer, opens the front door and surveys the quiet street.
What kind of life is this? I live in fear of my wife, and I'm in total confusion as to my place in the universe.
Willie closes the door, manually turns off the TV, flops on the couch and drinks his beer while staring blankly at the darkened screen. Scene 2, continuous. The book club group sits around the dining room table sipping wine.
So, you asked me how this club began? I just said to myself, hey, I went to college, even if I didn't graduate. But still, I read some of the classics and saw the rest as movies, and my brain needed more stimulation than a husband could provide. So I gathered the best and the brightest in the neighborhood. And here we are. More wine?
She held her glass aloft.
All right, enough social discourse. It's time to talk about our latest literary...
But I wonder, how could you get every one of the ladies to join this?
Well, easy. I used subterfuge. I told the girls we'd meet and we'd drink Chardonnay and diss our husbands under the cover of being a book club.
And?
Lo and behold, they read the books and were tired of bitching about the mediocrity of their husbands, and
so you all lived happily ever after.
Well, except for the few who came to drink the wine and trash their spouses.
Well, I felt the analogy comparing the reign of Charles I with the life of Robinson Crusoe seemed labored and possibly disingenuous, or simply lacking in frankness or integrity.
No, you might say that. Anybody else?
Should we not discuss my supposition?
I am sorry, but my sciatica is kicking in. I'm done for the day.
Caroline stands.
Very well. I shall be in Transylvania next month, visiting my ancestral castle.
But you're the hostess next month.
Oh.
Yes, it would seem that your great uncle Count Dracula shall have to wait for your next visit.
Lights out. Scene 3, later. The guys group were sitting around a table at Mission Lakes Country Club. Glasses and pitchers of beer fill the table.
Hey, let's face it, guys. We're not as smart as our wives.
The heck you say?
There ain't a woman in the world half as smart as me.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
But I suspect that all of them are your equal or above.
Just like my 4th grade teacher with a lead-weighted pointer. I still have scars from Mrs. Esterline's attacks.
It's a lot of beer drinking
Okay. Don't pick on our boy. So how are we convincing our wives of our intellectual superiority?
So what do the girls do?
Read.
Who writes the books they read? People smarter or...
I got it. Writers are smarter than readers.
So all we got to do is create a masterpiece.
Something like that.
I like it. So which of you guys is up to the challenge?
How many of us intellectuals has written anything more than a class assignment? And that was umpteen years ago.
Hey, I got an A in that class.
God, you're a snob.
I have an idea. We will all contribute. I'll write a sentence or two, then the next guy adds his 2 sentences, next guy adds his, bingo! We've got ourselves a book! A book!
Slick. But how do you keep the process under control?
You guys already know the next line. Just like my 4th grade teacher, with a lead-weighted pointer, I still have the scars from Miss Esterline's attacks.
Great. If we start now, we should be able to finish by next Friday.
But that's only a week away.
Well, yeah, but how long can it take to write a novel? I used to type 40 words a minute, and the average novel needs at least 60,000 words. So, if you divide...
Wait a minute. You've got to include thinking time.
So 40 goes into 60,000, about
Well, it's over 1,000.
1,500 minutes.
Which then divided by 16 minutes in an hour.
Gives us a subtrahend.
You mean minuend.
Or a dividend.
Actually, the answer, which is 25 hours, or only a day away from finishing the great American novel. Then divided by 4 of us writers, 6 hours and 15 minutes each.
But since we are performing this task in serial rather than parallel fashion,
the number of players is incidental or perhaps of no consequence to the total time required.
Jeez, you guys are always the same. You analyze, and then...
Yeah, I know. Why don't we just forget about it and have another beer?
But not this time, damn it. We got a job to do, and we're going to do it. Here's the first sentence. It was a dark and stormy night.
a sentence that's not. Here comes the rest of the line. As the pirate schooner attempted to anchor at Point Panic with loot stolen from Lady Wonderful's boudoir.
The shouts of Captain Burley Barleycorn were carried away by the monsoon. And it soon became apparent every man for himself. Or would have, except for the blast from the mighty horn, fashioned from a monstrous conch shell that the captain had carried off from a Spanish galleon on their last voyage.
I didn't start Treasure Island.
We each take our turn. The story goes where it will. Joey, you're next.
The mighty blast from the mighty horn raised a hue and cry in the nearby fishing village. And the men began to shout, women to scream, dogs to bark, church bells to peal. Thinking the noise to be a distress signal, the fishermen leaped into their boats, grabbed their oars, and pushed off into the billowing waves in hopes of collecting bounty from a ship in need. How's that, guys?
So, Johnny, what happens next?
Very obvious. The fisherman's beauteous daughter ran after the men and the boats and her betrothed, handsome Dan, clad in but a diaphanous sleeping costume. Try and beat that.
Well, why not transparent?
We're establishing a time, a place.
While the uproar commences upon the beach and in the frothy water, the captain has slipped overboard and has rowed himself to shore in his dinky dinghy. Seeing the fisherman's daughter, her body on display through the invisible gown, he races across the sand, scoops her up under his arm, and continues across the beach until he falls under the shade of an old grapevine. I'm liking this story, guys.
I'll email you this story thus far. And then we can get together and continue our magnificent opus.
Man, you are geniuses.
Lights dim. Scene 4, Willie's kitchen.
Well, what's the book next month?
Oh, like you care?
Oh, I'm always concerned about your well-being.
Well, isn't that special? Trying to keep me from reading any subversive literature.
No. You know, the depressing stuff, like 1984, Gulliver's Travels. You know, that poor old Gulliver gets tied up by those little people.
Lilliputians.
Yeah, those little guys. But smart, because they tied up old Gulliver tighter than a tick. That's when I quit reading the book.
Well, you do know he escaped, don't you?
Oh, nobody ever told me. Besides, I left the book out in the rain.
So you just discarded it? Threw it away as if it were but what, like a newspaper?
Heck no. I put the soggy mess in the clothes dryer.
And your mother must have gone crazy.
She suggested a long stay in the bug house.
No, well, far better than a quick trip to the guillotine.
It was my dad's book from when he was a kid. Those old farts, they cherish their childhood. The farther away, the more golden it becomes, and their artifacts more dear. He would pull the string on the guillotine.
Nobody didn't.
Well, Mom found a matching copy in a used bookstore and stuck it in the bookcase. Evidently, my secret stayed safe all these years.
The club's next book is neither one of those.
Is it about pirates? Like Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean?
We are an adult book club.
Ooh, Kama Sutra? 50 Shades of Grey?
You're such an animal, and that is the truth.
Lights dim. Scene 4, day. The guys at the country club.
You think we're on the right track? Sex and pirates?
My dear mother read Daphne's Du Maurier's book, Frenchman's Creek, and blushed continuously. Sex and pirates, all the way.
Shirley says it's an adult book club, so sex is A-OK.
Lucky you.
Well, she meant to read about, not to perform.
So the captain is under the grapevines with the beauteous maiden.
Does the captain have a plan?
Do guys ever?
On with the book. The captain is astounded at his good fortune in finding this nearly naked beauty in his powerful arms. In spite of his piratical tendencies, he's a man of principle and honor.
A man of principle? Good Lord. How am I to add my vile mind to this tale, which seemed to be heading straight towards the gutter, and then you make it turn for the better?
Well, you got the ball, so shoot.
I'll take it from here. The lady stirred, her gown falling off her shoulders as she stretched, half asleep. The captain touched the gown, his mind struggling with the next step.
To have his way with this vulnerable lass, or he removed his coat and wrapped it about her shoulders, all the while cursing himself for his strength of character.
Fantastic. The girls are going to love it. A man of principle.
Lights dim. Scene 5, the book club.
We seem to read nothing but female authors. Not that they aren't good writers, but their point of view tends to be very similar.
Hey, we're all women. That seems like a perfect match.
I see Shirley's point. The male perspective should not be ignored.
And that is exactly why we are gathered together, to ignore their stupid opinions.
Well, for this season, we shall continue with the ladies, but let us at least add at least one masculine opinion this year.
But remember, you're not allowed to let our husbands know.
Scene 6, several months later, the men are at Sammy's garage. They are opening a box.
Oh, this is damn exciting.
The cover is beautiful.
And so are the words inside.
Let's keep that pristine.
No. Make them look read and reread. A speck or two of food to give them authenticity of being a used book. I've got a plan.
Oh, hey, Willie's got a plan.
Yes, I do, smartass. We'll beat the books up a little and then contribute them to the college and the library for their used book sales, thus suggesting the book is the real deal.
That's like a real plan, like Einstein or somebody did it.
A plan to do what?
To trick the girls, right, Willie?
I got it. To give the book some history that it doesn't really have.
Just like faking a resume.
Exactly.
Lights dim. Scene 7. Used book sale at the library. Willie and Shirley are browsing.
Lots of books. Looking for something special?
Why are you here? You never come to these things.
Yeah, I prefer new books.
Well, I knew one of us was wealthy.
Hey, here's one. This must be pretty good, since somebody spent a lunch hour spilling on it.
The Principled Pirate.
Sort of an oxymoron.
Shirley flips through the book, noticing a few pages stuck together, and reads the first page.
Okay. It was a dark and stormy night as the pirate schooner attempted to anchor at Point Panic with the jewels stolen from Lady Wonderful's boudoir. How dreadful!
Yeah, that sounds like I've heard it before.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. The next sentence explains that the protagonist is actually reading from an old book. So old, possibly, it might have been the first time such drivel was used.
You mean it has a chance?
Well, it does get much better. More literate, more unique, and yet there is a sense of the amateur in the plotting.
You know, I read somewhere that it was a good first effort.
Read a review? Where?
The Desert Sun. Or maybe it was the New York Times. That was one or the other.
Well, maybe we girls can send a new writer on his way.
You never know.
They hurried to the register.
Is that all? We got what we came for. A book written by a man for a women's book club.
Never heard of the guy. Zachary All?
Excuse me, but just let her buy the book. Just say thank you.
No need to get huffy.
Willie hands the cashier $2 and they leave.
She's the cashier, not the literary judge and jury.
Those girls read everything.
Hey, if it's no good, you don't have to pay me back the $2.
Well, if it's not, I'll lose face with the club.
Oh, you'll be fine. You will be just fine.
Lights dim. Scene 7, the book club.
Okay, I emailed the publisher and asked if the author might be willing to visit us as we discussed his book.
We've been inviting them for years, but
Maybe he's not yet rich and famous.
talking to our little group certainly won't help him much.
Well, surprise, surprise, he's committed to coming because, as he said in his email, women's book clubs are the beginning of wisdom.
Thank you.
When is he coming?
Did he send a picture? Is he handsome?
Next Thursday, girls. So, no more jeans and ratty-ass t-shirts.
Lights dim. Scene 6. Thursday evening, the boys are meeting in a local pub.
What can we have, please?
They finish their beers. Don't you guys have to say something first? Yes.
This is it. Great hats, a beret, a fedora, a Purdue cap, and I've got my Ben Hogan golf cap, a ragtag army of authors. Ready? All for one and one for all. Let's go!
Woo. They finish their beers and race out the door, hopping into Willie's SUV. Scene 10. The ladies, resplendent in their finery, await the famous author. They're all staring at their cell phones, watching the time go by. Then a knock at the door. Before any one of them can respond, the door opens and the 4 men enter.
What? You? Willie?
Husbands, what's going on here?
We've been had.
Well, hello, boys.
We were expecting Zachary all.
We are Zachary all. That is to say, we're all Zachary.
You mean one of you idiots wrote the principal pirate?
No, not one of us idiots, but all of us.
That seems about right. The sum of all your IQs should be equal to one writer.
Have we proved? Are we smart enough to join your book club?
Shirley hugs Willie. Like it mean it.
We'll have to see your next novel first. You might as well just be a flash in the pan.
The end. Thank you so much, Gary Burning, our playwright, who is in the third row of the audience. Thank you, Jerry, and his lovely wife. And thank you all for joining us this evening. We hope you had fun. We certainly did.
Let's get in there.
Well done, well done.